Hey guys, it's Steven here and welcome back to another Chinese smartphone review, and today we're going to have a look at the UMi Hammer S. So I've got it from efoxshop.com. As always, there's a link down below in the description, and the written review will be by tomorrow on chinadevices.com. So make sure you check it out, guys, and now I would say let's get directly started and let's have a look at the specs of the UMi Hammer S. So guys, here are the specs of the UMi Hammer S. All in all, not so impressive, but the price is very cheap with €120 on eFox. So well, it's a 5.5-inch smartphone, comes with a nice looking IPS screen, and the pixel per inch density is 267. So the chipset, it's the MTK 6735. It's a quad-core processor, but only clocked at 988 MHz, so 1 GHz, and the performance is kinda low. Okay, the front-facing camera 2 megapixel, rear camera 13 megapixel, but well, gas interpolated, or it's using some Sony IMX 179 or some kinda old sensor, so you can find it down below in the description. It's dual SIM, supports microSD cards, has a 3200 mAh battery with real capacity, and the FDD-LTE band B20 is also in there. Also, it's a very stable phone, so the body quality is very nice. Okay, then now I would say let's do a quick unboxing, or let me show you what you can find inside of the box. First of all, let's get started here with the charger, and unfortunately there is no quick charging on the UMi Hammer S, so it's a 5-watt charger, 1 amp at 5 volts, nothing special. It comes with the correct power socket connector for my country. That's really good, so there's no need to use an adapter. All in all, quality of the charger not really the best, so you can here see some gaps. At least the USB port is straight in, but the overall quality, well, I would replace the charger with a quality one. Okay, that's regarding the charger. Also, the phone is using USB Type-C, but just the form factor. So this is just a reconfigured USB 2.0 cable, so the phone doesn't support USB 3. And you can see that the form factor is USB Type-C, so basically you can plug it in every direction, but there is no real benefit from that. So actually it's not a benefit at all, because you have to get yourself new cables and you can't use micro USB anymore. That's just my opinion here on those reconfigured form factors. Alright, then here we have the Hammer S user manual. So yeah, here you can see the smartphone, just where you can find everything, headphone jack, buttons, also kinda useless. And also there was one of those leather flip covers included. Now this seems to be fake leather, but it feels kinda smooth. Also here we have the Hammer S logo. And here on the inside you can see you have to glue it to the back of your smartphone, so to the back cover. It's really kind of annoying because you know, when it's really hot, sometimes the glue comes off and then your back cover is full of glue, and I don't like that so much. I mean, it's pretty good because it fits actually really good, and also it's very sticky, but sometimes it came off. I had this cover on my other UMi phones and I wasn't really impressed by this. So save your money and better buy an transparent case, but not that leather flip case. It actually kind of sucks in my opinion. Okay, that's everything you can find inside of the box, all along with the smartphone. And now I would say let's just go and let's have a closer look at the phone itself. Now here's the UMi Hammer S, and my first impression, so my first feeling in my hands was nice display, totally nice build quality, but way too heavy. And now let's put it on a scale to check out the weight, and there we go. So the weight of the smartphone is 200 grams, and this is really a lot. So yesterday I tested the Yukitel K4000 and it was 204 grams, so even a little bit heavier, but both smartphones are a little bit too heavy for me. But well, the build quality is very solid, so this phone looks incredibly nice because the frame is very thick. The buttons are made out of metal, the back cover fits really tight, and there are no gaps, and it looks really good. What I don't like is that massive black bar around the display. Now the display itself, it's a 720p panel, but with nice colors and viewing angles. Now the sharpness, not really the best, but colors and viewing angles look really nice. So really nice contrast, and so far I like the display. But just the black bar around it on the white version looks disgusting. At the bottom we have capacitive touch buttons. So far as I can see, there is no backlight, so also there were no settings to activate that, so it seems that there is no backlight on them. We have here the menu button, home button and the back button. Then we have light and proximity sensor here left from the front facing camera, and here in the middle we have the earpiece. But there is no notification LED, so this really sucks. I love devices with notification LED, and if there's no backlight, if there's no Harlequin LED, no notification LED, this is a no-go for me. Okay, then let's have a look at the back side. Now the backside really nice, that's the white version, UMi logo, Hammer S here at the bottom. It's some smooth back cover made out of plastic, but feels pretty smooth and not cheap at all. Here we have the fingerprint scanner. It's right under the camera, so you have to use your fingers on the back here. Maybe needs a bit of practice, but once you get the hang on it, it works pretty good. Then here we have the dual LED flash. It's not dual tone, but it's dual one. Not the strongest dual LED flash I've seen, but quite okay. Rear camera 13 megapixel. We'll just do a test a little bit later, but I can already tell you I was not really impressed by the camera quality. At the top we have the 3.5mm headphone jack. There's some plastic around it, so no sharp edges, feels pretty good. And here we have the IR blaster. IR blaster is fully working, and yeah, it comes with a transparent cover, so I have to say it looks really cool, because usually you have some kind of blue or black cover, and you can't really see if there's really an LED in there. But yeah, it works pretty good, so here we have the IR LED, so the IR blaster. Okay, here on the right side of the frame we have all the buttons. So we have here the power button. The power button is quite responsive. And also the volume button, which is a single one, so up and down. Feels pretty good, buttons are not sliding around, and yeah, that's really nice. Now at the bottom of the device we have the USB Type-C port. It's not a USB 3 port, but at least we have the USB Type-C form factor. Now well, USB Type-C form factor is maybe nice, because yeah, you can say I have USB Type-C, but you don't have real benefits from that. And you have to buy yourself new cables, so you have to get rid of all your USB type, all your micro USB stuff and get new USB Type-C stuff, or get yourself an adapter. They're pretty cool Xiaomi adapters, so you can check them out if you want to. Here we have the speaker at the bottom, so it's a single speaker. At least it doesn't look now like dual speakers, even though it would maybe look a little bit better regarding the design. And here we have a little hole, which is the bottom microphone and the one and only microphone on the smartphone here. Okay, yeah, that's basically it. So from the front, back side and the frame, all in all the phone is very stable. It's really heavy, but I guess when you drop it probably you will have a couple of cuts here in the frame, but maybe it won't break, so it seems to be quite stable. Okay, you can remove the back cover, and you can do it here at the bottom. So you see there's a little slot to get in with your fingernail and peel off the back cover. Fits pretty tight, but it's really okay. Now, inside of the back cover, no antennas, because there is no NFC or something inside. We have here the battery, and the battery is massive. In the unboxing I peeled off the sticker, so actually it didn't say anything about the capacity, if I'm right. I mean, we can do it here once again. But I have to say, I've measured the capacity, and the capacity seems to be real 3200 milliamp hours, as it also says here on the battery sticker. So that's pretty good. Thanks UMi for being honest this time, or supplying us with the correct batteries. And also the battery lifetime on the UMi Hammer S is quite good. Okay, now here's the phone from the inside. As you can see, it's dual SIM. We have here SIM card slot 1, SIM card slot 2. Here the dual LED flash. Here you can see the LEDs from the inside, so no dual tone. Antennas, micro SD card port, and my 64GB SanDisk SD card works really good here in the UMi Hammer S. At the bottom we have the another antenna and the speaker. So that's it, little sticker here on the inside, and that's the phone from without the back cover. So I will now just reattach the battery. We can quickly check out the thickness of the body. And also I forgot to mention, there's a magic glass screen protector included, so you know some pretty hard, or how should I say that, it's tempered and quite stable and helps you to protect the smartphone. But actually I haven't used it at all, and it's $10, so you can get some additional screen protector when you buy it. The thickness of the body, it's 9mm, and that's okay regarding the thick battery and the massive metal frame. So actually I'm okay with the size, but the weight is really a lot. So over 200 grams on a 5.5-inch smartphone, well, that's a lot. The Yukitel yesterday was 5 inches with 203 grams, which was even more than that one here. So actually 205 grams is almost okay on the UMi Hammer S, but still it weighs a lot, and you can really feel that. So guys, here are my measurements regarding the battery capacity, and I have to say it was first of all wrong calibrated, so it only charged to 80% and then it showed 4.2 volts, so there was something wrong with that, but after reflashing the ROM everything was okay. So well, here you can see the measurement, so 2840 milliamp hours for sure at 5 volts, so you have to multiply that with 5 divided by the battery voltage, and then also multiply it with the efficiency of the charging circuit, because you know that's before the phone, so power gets wasted inside of the phone. If you say 80-90%, then you come up with the capacity of 3100 to 3200 milliamp hours. So this is really okay, and I can confirm the battery capacity on the UMi Hammer S this time is correct, not like on the UMi Hammer on the old one where they cheated on the battery. Now when we already talk about the battery, let's talk about the battery test in Geekbench 3, 6 hours 40. And you see from 80% to 0 because it was somehow wrongly calibrated. So it showed actually 4.2 volts maximum at 80%. Kind of strange, but after reflashing, problem solved. Okay, I did this test with 70% display brightness. There are people doing the Geekbench test totally dimmed. Yeah, it's good to compare, but makes no sense for me because nobody dims their display completely. So well, I get this with 70% of display brightness. You can get up to 9 hours, 9.5 hours with completely dimmed, but actually it doesn't make too much sense to me. So the battery lifetime on the UMi Hammer S is very good. I had no problem to come through a whole day, also pretty intensive use, and I have to say an average user will have more than a day, also can have 2 days of battery lifetime. Really depends on your usage, but here you can see the Geekbench 3 battery test with 70% of display brightness, SIM card inside, and receiving notifications in the background. So that's actually a pretty good value. Now there we go, my friends, we're now here in Android 5.1 on the UMi Hammer S. Very close to stock, almost no customization, and it feels pretty smooth even though we have the 1 GHz quad core. Okay, so as you can see, it does not come with any bloatware pre-installed, so that's very good. Big thanks to UMi for that. So a very clean ROM, that's something I appreciate. We can go here to About the Phone, and here you can see Android version 5.1. So here we have the goddamn lollipop, and here's the Easter egg. At the top we have wireless update, but yeah, there was no update after I received the phone and did the first OTA. We are still here at version 3.01. There are some things in the ROM which are a little bit buggy. I will tell you later something about that. First of all, let's get started with Wi-Fi, and I have to say Wi-Fi is probably the worst thing on that smartphone. Well, 5 GHz band is working, but I can show you now a comparison to my OnePlus 2, which also doesn't have the best Wi-Fi, but yeah, I will just show you the signal comparison right now. So well, I was in my sleeping room with both smartphones, and on the OnePlus 2 I was able to get a signal, use the internet, not the best link speed with 43 Mbits, but it's okay, we had a fair signal, and I was able to completely use it. On the UMi Hammer S, I couldn't use Wi-Fi at all, also the whole signal was so bad, I couldn't even get into the Google Play Store or open up Google. So we had a link speed of 1 megabit per second, and yeah, this was on the 2.4 GHz band. On the 5 GHz band it was even worse, and also had problems with Wi-Fi. It was just like disconnecting and after 10 seconds reconnecting, so I had really bad Wi-Fi drops. And I've also then checked out other reviews, and I've seen other people having the same issue. So I think Styler also had Wi-Fi problems. He said only with Bluetooth on or whatever, but I also had Wi-Fi problems by just using Wi-Fi. So that was really bad. And also the signal, if you compare it here to the OnePlus 2, it was total crap. So regarding Wi-Fi, it's usable if you're in a good range, but if you're on the outer borders of your Wi-Fi, it's probably not usable anymore, just like in my sleeping room, which is almost at the end of my Wi-Fi reach. And here you can see on the OnePlus 2 I was able to use it, but on the UMi Hammer S I couldn't use it at all. So well, Wi-Fi was kinda bad, actually is kinda bad. Bluetooth worked pretty good in my car with the car radio or my key finder, no problem at all. Then here we have HotNod, and HotNod is similar to NFC but only works between MTK devices who also support HotNod, so it allows data exchange when the screen touches another screens, blah blah blah. Nothing else here, so no NFC. The next thing we have here is display. Here you can see mirror vision is inside but no sensor calibration in here. Then here's storage. One good thing, UMi provides you one big partition. So you have here 12 GB of total space from the 16 GB, 10.2 GB usable after I've also installed some apps here. That's pretty good. And my 64 GB SD card gets detected and works really good, so no issues here. Now the battery, as I've told you before, battery lifetime is really good. 1 day shouldn't be a problem for most of the users. Then here we have apps running in the background. As you may know, it's a 2 GB RAM phone. And well, you see here the ROM only takes around 500 megabytes and we still have 1.4 gigabytes of free RAM. So ROM optimization from UMi regarding speed and snappiness is usually very good, but sometimes kind of buggy ROMs and there are no updates or updates are kind of slow, but the performance is usually always really good. We have GPS, we have smart wake, so there's double tap to wake the screen up, off-screen gestures, so that's also inside. Haven't really used that at all. We have here the fingerprint scanner, my safe pin 1234. I can show you now the fingerprint scanner, which works pretty good, so we'll just add another finger. Now, to improve the accuracy, you can register your fingerprint more often. So the same finger 3 times registered improves your accuracy like 100%. It's way better. And always try to rotate your finger a little bit. Also try to fingertip, shake hands. Okay, what the hell? And there we go. Yeah, continue, sorry. Yeah, and you see you have to replace your finger a couple of times here on the sensor until it's registered and fingerprint unlock is activated, but you can also, for instance, lock apps, like if you don't want that your girlfriend is reading your WhatsApp messages to other girls, well then just lock it. Okay, now the screen is off, so let's try to unlock it with my finger, and there we go. Works pretty good, so we can try it here once again. And there we go, so this is really fast, also from a different angle, works really good. Now let's try it with another finger. You see it doesn't work. If I put my real finger on there, okay, there's a kind of delay between and failed attempts, and then it works pretty good. Alright, fingerprint scanner, I'm happy with that, usually works good on most of the devices, and there is no battery drain, just like on the Ulefone. Okay, next things is language and input, and the ROM is multi-language. It's not the full Android language pack, but most important languages should be in here, as you can see. Okay, so I think that was everything here in the settings, which is quite interesting. Now let's talk a little bit about call quality. Call quality, well, the earpiece could be a little bit louder and a little bit more clearer, but except of that it's okay. Then we can quickly do a call. So let's try to call here some very popular number, and there we go, 147. And yeah, first of all, I want to show you the sensors, so it works pretty good. Also nice calibrated, like 3 centimeter range, and cuts off the display really fast. Now here's the speaker, and the speaker, yeah, at maximum volume it's not really loud, but already sounds a bit distorted. So I'm not really so happy with the speaker quality here. And yeah, let's end up the call before somebody is picking up the call on the hotline. And yeah, regarding the signal, I'm here in my basement, still get a good signal here on 3G. I'm outside of Vienna, I get a good signal. So I'm really happy with the signal quality on 3G. I had no drops, that was pretty good. But on Wi-Fi, yeah, it kind of sucked. Also on GPS, as you will see a bit later. As always, we have here the Android status bar. Here we have all the quick toggles, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, blah blah blah. Also in Hotnot button, you can just basically also deactivate the clean button. And the cool things actually in here. Oh well, my battery is almost empty. That's shit. The battery calibration is a little bit wrong there. And now let's go here to the menu and let's go to the most important application first, and this is the camera. So I would suggest let's go quickly outside and let's do a quick camera test here on the UMi Hammer S. So ladies and gentlemen, we're here outside in my garden to do a quick camera test on the UMi Hammer S, and well, the camera performance, I'm not so happy with that. So here in the camera application from MTK, as always on the left side we have different effects. Now let's try to shutter. As you can see, the delay is quite okay, so not too fast but also not too slow. And there we go, so you can see tab autofocus is working, changes the lighting properly, at least that. And I have to say, when you have good lighting and you take a picture, sometimes it looks good from a different angle, sometimes it looks crap. So yeah, the camera, you probably need a couple of shots to get a good picture, average picture. I can show you here the settings, and there we go. So we can go here to the camera settings. Here you can see the maximum picture size is 13 megapixels. But this only if you use the 4:3 mode. So if you switch to full screen, it drops down to 9.5 megapixels. Alright, that's regarding the image size, and the video quality here is set to fine. But this is only 720p, and videos also look kind of blurry, so I'm not so happy with the video quality. Okay, then let's switch here to the front-facing camera. Let's check that out. Front-facing camera is a nice wide angle, so you can easily get yourself on the picture, but colors look a bit washed out. It also looks a bit blurry, so also not so happy with the front-facing camera, especially in video mode, because it only records with 480p, so it looks really crappy actually. Okay, we can have a look here at the settings. Here you can see 5 megapixels, but this only in 4 to 3. If we switch to full screen, we have, oh, wait a bit. If we switch to 4 to 3, I think we have 8 megapixels. No, only 5 too. So we have 5 in 4 to 3 and 5 in 16 to 9. Alright, also not really the best, and if you check out the sample pictures on China devices, you will see what I mean. So the rear camera is okay, it gets the job done, but sometimes, yeah, it struggles a bit, doesn't look so good. Just check out the pictures on China devices, because image quality always depends on your own needs. Okay, that's regarding the cameras, and the link is down below in the description. So ladies and gentlemen, we're once again here outside in my garden to do a quick back camera test on the UMi Hammer S. And well, lighting adjustment, as you can see, works and looks pretty good. The recording dimension is unfortunately only HD, so 1280 x 720 pixels. And it records in 3GP, so I hate that format. And also the front-facing camera shoots only in VGA, so 640 x 480. It doesn't really look good at all. Now, yeah, as you can see, it will be quite a little bit blurry, so I've just checked it out on the computer, and it looked quite blurry in the background. Then, well, you can see I can focus here on the houses in the background, but, well, they look quite blurry. Also, image stabilization, yeah, not really the best, guys. Then let's go a little bit, let's have a look at some close-ups. Probably that nice flower here. And there we go. So, the macro distance, so where you're able to focus, it's around 5 centimeters. If you go a little bit more near, then it's not really able to focus anymore. But close-ups look okay, but everything which is more far away, yeah, looks kind of blurry, as you can see. We can quickly go inside and check out the camera performance in low lighting or darkness, and there we go. And we're now here inside, so it's pretty dark here, and the LED flash is currently on, so this is how it looks like. Focus is also working. And yeah, the LED flash performance is kind of poor. Now you can light up things which are, I would say, maximum a meter away from you, like here, that orange thing. No real distortion when you move the camera, that's okay, but well, very noisy, high ISO, and also kind of blurry. So not so happy with the rear camera. Also the front-facing camera only records in a very low resolution and not really in HD. Okay, so that are the cameras, and yeah, you can find sample pictures on chinadevices.com. Front-facing camera, I'm not so satisfied. Maybe let's try it in this direction so you can see me better, because the colors look kind of strange. I mean, okay, the lighting is not the best, but if I, for instance, compare it here right now with my OnePlus One or Galaxy S6, it looks just so much better. For sure, there's a huge price difference, but also front-facing camera is something which is important for me. Now, yeah, noise in the background, I mean, it's okay regarding the sharpness, it's nice and wide angle. I can get myself easily on the picture if I hold it here like 70 centimeters away from my body. But the colors, they look somehow really kind of washed out. My skin tone, then also the green tone of the grass here, so not too good at all, but an okay front-facing camera here on the UMi Hammer S. So once again, just check it out here in the background and here myself. So it's nice and wide angle, but picture quality and colors are not so good. So that was the camera test, and I just had a look at the pictures on the computer. I'm not so happy with the rear camera now in terms of image quality, dynamic range, sometimes struggles with the exposure. Now, yeah, you can check out the sample pictures on China devices. It shoots with a 2.0 aperture, and I have to say, pictures don't look so good. Front-facing camera, same thing. It only gets you nice selfies, which I would also post on Facebook or whatever, if there's enough light. So if there's low light, then it's really kind of crispy, noisy, and it doesn't look good at all. So yeah, the cameras on this device are not really good. Okay, then we can have a look here at the rest. So you can see it comes with the latest Google framework, Google Apps, Google Settings, Play Store, and you just have to add your Google account and there you go. Doesn't say, it didn't say anything about you can't install this app because the phone isn't compatible with it. Because I did read some reviews where they said you can't install all apps on the phone, but well, I had no problem with all the apps I use. Okay, the next thing is, it comes with an FM radio, but there was no headset included, so yeah, that's the only bad thing. And you see, it comes pre-routed. That was really good. So thanks UMi for pre-routing my my Hammer S. And I'm not really sure if it's just on this test device or on all, but mine came pre-routed. And here we have a Sasa remote, or Sasa, I hope I pronounced it correctly. And I have to say, it works, but after reflashing the ROM due to the battery issue, I've just lost my TV. TV, and you can see there are a lot of brands in here, and the range, yeah, the range was maybe not the best, so sometimes my remote control had a better range than this remote control, but it's okay. So it worked pretty nice with my Toshiba TV, and I have to say it's cool that it's included, because I missed this feature on a lot of my high-end phones like the ZUK OnePlus One or some other phones I have here. Okay, that's basically it. That was everything here in the menu, and now I would say let's do a quick LED flash test, speaker test, benchmarks, GPS test, and then you will hear my final conclusion. Now here's a quick LED flash test on a UMi Hammer S, and there we go. Let's turn on the flashlight. And yeah, for a dual LED flash, it's not really strong. I mean, you can see it here. It's nice and white, so some cool white tone, but it's not really strong. So yeah, I can barely light up here the area with holding it like 30 centimeters above the table. And we can switch off the LED flash and now open up the camera, and let's just try to capture here a picture in complete darkness, and there we go. And so you can see here the shutter time, and well, maybe let's try it here from a little bit more far away. So, oh well, that was the focus once again. And the shutter time is actually okay, but you see it misses the perfect spot to capture it actually, so it looks quite dark even though we are very near here to the subject. So the LED flash and the timing with the camera is not really the best in my opinion. As always, here's a quick speaker test on YouTube, no copyright sounds. Now I tested the speaker with MP3 files too, it was really kinda okay regarding the clarity, but not really loud. And if you tweak it, if you boost the speaker in the engineering settings, then it distorts. So the speaker is really not the best. We can just check out here the playback, and video playback is really smooth, and also the 3.5mm headphone jack, just like on every new smartphone. There is no distortion or kind of strange sounds. Only thing I've noticed, there was kind of strange background noise also when I've recorded the test video on the smartphone. So this is really kind of strange. Not sure where it comes from. But let's hit the play button, and there we go. And yeah, you hear it, it's not really loud, so this could be absolutely better. If I play back the same YouTube movie on my S6 Edge, you wouldn't even hear the UMi Hammer S anymore. So the speaker could be way louder, and if you boost it, which is possible, then it sounds a bit distorted. So I'm not really happy with the speaker, I have to say. So here's a quick navigation test, so GPS signal test actually, and we're here in the GPS test application, and I'm currently driving around for half an hour, and I have to say the GPS signal here, even though we have a very nice day, looks kind of bad. So we have here a lot of orange and red bars, which means quite low signal, then a couple of green bars, which is okay signal, and we have here a couple of yellow bars, which is average signal. Okay, 11 satellites in view and 10 in use. Now that probably means there is no GLONASS support. We'll check it out just in a second, but usually that chipset also does not come with GLONASS. Okay, let's drive a little bit, so let's switch also the application, and there we go, Android's GPS test application. Also here you can see we're connected to 10 out of 10 satellites, 15 meters of accuracy, which is some pretty high value. Also it goes up here, 20 meters of accuracy, so that's a really high range actually. We have here 9 American satellites. So far as you can see, there is no GLONASS support, and here are the signal bars, and also here the signal looks actually kind of low. So I'm not really sure how navigation performs, but I will now just do a quick test with you guys to check this out. Now guys, I did a quick navigation test, and yeah, I have to say, you really notice the 20 meters of accuracy. Now if you have roads which are very close together, like here the main road and the road here to the right, so sometimes the phone has a hard time to differentiate between those two roads. I mean, we can drive now to the right. Let's see if it noticed that. Yeah, you see now it was a bit stuck and a bit lost, but then it jumps back to the road. So we're now driving here really parallel to the other road, and you see it still believes we're on the other road. So you can really confuse it a little bit if there are roads close together, if there are many corners inside of the city. The accuracy on the UMi Hammer S, I have to say from my tests, it's not too good. Now I have phones which have a pretty good accuracy, some brand phones, like for instance my S6, which I always have to say, and it can really see the difference between the two roads. Now we're driving here to the right, we're like 15 meters away from the road, and now it noticed, yeah, we're not on the road anymore. So yeah, the accuracy is not really too good. Also, there is no GLONASS support, so I'm not so happy with the GPS, and the GPS performance could be way better because we have a totally nice day today, absolutely not cloudy, really sunny, and we had a pretty low signal in the GPS test application and the Android's application. Okay, that's GPS here on the UMi Hammer S. So the benchmarks are finished, and now let's have a closer look at the results. First of all, the Antutu benchmark, 20K. Now this is not really an impressive score. If you check out here the ranking, you see it's like 40% of the performance of a Galaxy Note 4. Then here we have the hardware info. You see it only runs a 32-bit version of Android 5.1, and this is probably because the SoC can't do 64 bits. That's what the factory also told me from another phone, from the Blueboo, and somehow there seem to be different versions of the MTK 6735, and some of them, even though they say 64-bit, they somehow not work with 64-bit. I'm not really sure, and I can't confirm that because it's so confusing and I don't have any official statement from MediaTek. Okay, Geekbench free score, 486, single core, multi-core 1356. Also nothing too impressive because of the low clock. And yeah, 1.9 gigabytes of usable memory, that's pretty good, so we come very close to the 2 gigs. Then let's check out CPU-C here, and there we go. You see it only clocks from 221 up to 988 megahertz, and well, that's not really good. The 1.3 gigahertz chipset performs way better. Here we can see the system, and yeah, there is root access, so the phone was pre-rooted from UMi. That's pretty cool. Regarding the battery, nothing we can check out here, and here we can check out the temperatures. So you see, even though I did now gaming benchmarks, it keeps pretty cool. So actually this device doesn't overheat because, well, also the CPU is clocked very low, and it only comes with the basic sensors, which you can also confirm in Sensor Box, which you have right over here. And there we go, so there's no gyroscope, there is no magnetic sensor, so we just have here light sensor, accelerometer, proximity sensor, sound sensor, and there's not even an orientation sensor. Okay, then let's check out stage fright, and there we go. And yeah, the ROM still has not really been updated, so it's very attackable due to stage fright. And you see we have all those CVs here in red. On some newer ROM phones, yeah, you usually have 1 or 2 frights, but here we have a lot. So this needs to be fixed as soon as possible, so please bring an update, UMi. Okay, next thing is the multi-touch tester. Now it's in 5-point capacitive touchscreen, absolutely no ghost touches, so that's pretty good. And also the build quality, the glass, the screen feels very good when you use it. The MTK engineering mode, we can quickly go here to the band mode, and here I can show you. So the second one, GSM only, and the first one here, it supports quad band on GSM. We have here 5 bands on WCDMA, which you can see here, and we have a lot of LTE bands, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 17 and 20. So that's basically everything, and band 20 is really important for the German guys, and also here in Austria I think they use 7 and 20 or something like that. Okay guys, so that are the benchmarks. Oh fuck, I forgot something, which is the speed test, and there we go. And here the speed test results, and this looks incredible nice. So I only have 3G, but here you can see 22 Mbits almost down, and this is very good. So this is really the maximum I can achieve on 3G. So you should also have no problem with 4G LTE, and we have here upload speeds of around 5 Mbits and a very good ping. So that's really nice here regarding 3G, but regarding 4G you really have to check the frequency. So I'm not really sure if it works in every country, so make sure that the frequency band which you need is also in the smartphone, as I've shown you before. Now if you're into gaming on your Android phone, then you should probably keep your hands off the 1 GHz SoC here, because you see it's really kind of slow and it's not so much fun. I mean, the game is playable, but as you can see with some low frame rate, and it's really kind of laggy. So yeah, if you're into gaming and you're looking for a smartphone which is kind of cheap, get yourself one with the MTK 6753, and yeah, it's a better processor because it's octa-core. At least get the 1.3 GHz quad-core model and not here the 1 GHz model, because it's really slow. Now yeah, I also played other games, Modern Combat 5, but well, it was even more unplayable than Asphalt 8, so the gaming experience here is really not the best. And also it can't get the sound done with the rendering here, so sometimes the sound is really distorted or cuts off, so gaming performance really low actually. You can play basic 3D games, but if you play some graphic intense games like this one here, you won't be really satisfied with the chipset clocked at 1 GHz and the GPU inside. So well, that's the gaming performance on the UMi Hammer S. All in all, for casual gaming, okay, but for hardcore gamers, keep your hands off. So ladies and gentlemen, we're now here at the end of this review, and here comes my quick and final conclusion about the UMi Hammer S. So the build quality is very nice, the display looks good, and the battery lifetime is very good. So all in all, it's a nice phone for basic use. But the MTK 6735P at 1 GHz is just too slow for me. It only supports also 32-bit, so I'm really not sure why there is no 64-bit support. There are only 3 sensors inside, so yeah, there's no gyroscope, there is no magnetic sensor, so you can't even use cardboard or whatever. Also, the smartphone is very heavy, so way too heavy for me actually. Then also the camera, you did see the quality, it wasn't really the best. And also it did only record in 720p, and the front-facing camera did only record in 480p, and both in 3GP file format, so it looked actually disgusting. Dual LEDs on the backside, well, okay, but kind of weak. Wi-Fi randomly dropped and I lost connection. Now, it seems that also other reviewers had the problem, not really sure, it's a quite early version, but I have done the review now a bit late, but well, I'm pretty not sure if it's fixed on the new batch, I can't really tell you, but I had definitely Wi-Fi issues. Okay, yeah, so that are the things which I basically didn't like, and also that there is no notification LED at the top, no backlight on the button, so you never know, did you get a message, or yeah, you always have to turn on the screen. But what I did really like is the fingerprint scanner, which works really good, also 360 degree, so if you register your fingerprint a couple of times, then you can unlock your device, yeah, with every attempt. It's actually pretty good. All in all, a nice and okay phone for basic use for people who want a long battery lifetime, nice build quality and a fingerprint scanner. If you're a gamer, if you like to take pictures with your smartphone, yeah, then probably keep your hands off. Also, if you like to have a good speaker on your smartphone, because the speaker was also kind of crappy. Alright guys, that was my review on the UMi Hammer S. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, written review will be on chinadevices.com. I'll try to finish it today. So have a nice day guys, stay fresh and see you soon in the next one.